Oh, yeah. We're getting your heart pumping a little bit here this Saturday morning. Cindy Dole, Eric Stromer. This is Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life. Eric, how you doing there? You're in Alabama this morning.
Beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. Yes, ma'am.
You're going to a home show?
You know, I'm going to go to a home show, and then I'm going to shoot a commercial for a foundation company called AFS who are out here. So we'll see how that goes.
Sounds great.
It'll be great for them when they're like when their spokesperson's like, "Hello, I have a little bit of a cold, but I hope you try this new foundation company."
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, you'll charm them in spite of it. Yeah. Well, we're thinking about looking at new plants to bring to the garden because spring is coming on, and I'm so excited that we have these fragrant vines that are now blooming in our yard, and it just kind of gets you pumped up to want to try new things to make your outdoors more welcoming and more inviting. And if you haven't tried the Sunset Western Garden book, the new issue is out, and we were just talking about it before the break. It's their 9th issue. And, Eric, you've got to get this because it has their, they have the new plant finder section, and it makes it really easy to find plants for all purposes and garden conditions, whether you want to attract wildlife or pollinators because we want to have more bees, you know.
Oh, and butterflies, too.
Butterflies. Or how about just having a water-wise garden or raising ornamental edibles? I mean, it just goes on, and you just put your zip code in, and it helps you figure out what's going to thrive.
Can you believe that? It takes all the guesswork out of everything. I love it.
It does.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, before we get in...
Unfortunately, I don't think I can grow any edible food at all where I live.
Why?
Because it's like Mars. It's so hot in the summer.
No, that's good. You want to have hot.
I do?
You want to have some sun back there.
I think I can do citrus. I did tomatoes once, but everything else just fries like it's in a wok.
It's in a wok?
Yeah. It gets so hot out there.
Well, you just as long as you have a good drip system, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I do. I've got a pretty good one, but I'm
tomatoes?
It's a work in progress. Pretty soon you're going to get fresh, delicious,
asparagus,
fresh, bountiful things from me.
Asparagus.
And you know why? Because of the book.
Because of the book?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you go to sunset.com/plant finder, they also now have a mobile app that you can then take with you as you're shopping for plants, and it talks about all these brand new plant ideas that are all searchable by the Sunset Climate Zone. So that's really
that's a great idea because it's not easy to drag around that big.
It's pretty heavy.
Book.
It's pretty. Although a lot of the nurseries have the book, and it's usually very soiled because everyone's been, leafing through the book while they've been buying their plants, and it's been sitting around for years. But you might find one there at the desk at your favorite nursery. But before you buy plants, if you were to think about curb appeal, what would you say is something that you want to see? Because you talk about this a lot when you're working on hardscapes as well as landscapes, kind of mixing and matching the shape of the way the plants are lining up to the house, right? So it isn't all one angle.
Not only that, but also, if you've got a very linear sidewalk that has angles, you can afford to go with more curvy, rounded, landscape beds. You don't want to make everything so parallel and perfect. It takes the softness out of the property. So I often recommend that you switch it up a bit. So if you have angular sidewalks, you go with round beds, and then vice versa. You
want to soften it with the greenery, and so besides just hiding, you want to have kind of a hugger, if you will, so that the house almost looks like it's getting a big loving hug by the garden.
Well, that's a nice way to say it. Yeah,
it's a big hug.
Right. It's a hugging with landscaping, yeah.
Yeah, why not? And so you can just kind of, if you're thinking along those terms, then it becomes a little easier. And, of course, you want to
Of course,
layer.
you've got a small property, then it would be like being hugged by a one-armed uncle.
It's a very tiny, it's a handshake.
Tiny man.
Yeah, it's not really, it's a baby hug. But if you think of, as you're going out looking for plants maybe today, think of that hug as having 3 layers of height, right? Like the really low plants, then the medium height plants, and then the bigger shrubs close to the house.
Right, exactly. And then what else you can do is you can accentuate. If you've got a big picture window, you can do your tall stuff on either side, and then, to your point, the center stuff is a little bit lower, kind of frames it in with the landscaping. That looks really nice, too.
So one of the plants that I think it's great, it's a one-size-fits-all, is boxwood. Do you have boxwood in your yard?
No, but boy, I love it.
It's really great because it's just a nice staple. It's like that little black dress, or for you, the little black leather jacket.
Or the little black dress.
It just works, you know. So consider
doesn't it?
having that as one of your house huggers, if you will, the boxwood.
Yeah, that's your foundation,
It's a staple.
And then everything else is accentuated. Yeah.
And then get some spring blooming shrubs to kind of brighten things up. And a favorite that I love is hydrangea. That's a great, gorgeous one.
Pretty easy to take care of,
too. Or rhododendron. Do you have any azaleas, rhododendrons?
I do. I actually do have those. Yeah.
And I love that they're evergreen, so you always have some leaves, you know, so it isn't just sitting there like sticks, but then you have the nice showy spring flowers that can come in white or a lighter pink or even a darker reddish pink.
Yeah, and then you can go ahead and have those as, like you say, your foundational elements, and then your low stuff in the very front are the things you can swap out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's some of the plants, though, that are brand new that I think that you should try this year. Have you heard of fuchsia hybrida? Now, I know it's kind of a goofy-sounding name, but if you can picture, it literally looks fuchsia, hot pink, and it has these petals that swirl around almost like a flamenco dancer's skirt. Can you picture that?
You need to be writing short stories.
So it is. If you can picture, it has a bright pink with almost like a purple ruffle that goes around, and it works in part shade to full sun.
Well, this is great.
All right. So look for that one. It's called fuchsia hybrida. Or another really cool one that caught my eye, and again, it has a lot of pink in it. It's called Phormium jubilee. Now, this has kind of like a cherry pink in the center, and then again, then it has these jetting leaves that have a little bit of green with the pink, and you know how great green and pink look together.
Boy, do they ever!
So, and that's a great thing to try also in a part shade. And there's so many other good ones. Here's one called echinacea. Now, I know you with your cold, you're probably swallowing echinacea or drinking echinacea tea.
I have an IV actually going.
You have an IV going? All right, well, there's an echinacea flower, and that's where all this comes from, right? But if you can picture, the petals, again, are kind of a pink and has a cone with more of these bright, deeper shaded pinks, almost like daisy petals that come like a skirt down below from the top bulb of this flower. So it's kind of like like a little human being with a skirt that kind of falls down. It's very, very cute. And
are you painting pictures with words?
I'm painting pictures,
and
I think that you ought to try another one. I guess skirts are kind of the theme. This is the poodle skirt dahlia, and it's a kind of a wine-colored, almost like a burgundy red with hot pink petals, and then they also come in blue and white as well, and you can plant them now, and they're tubers. And so
what does the dahlia last in terms of how much time we're going to get? What are you thinking?
Spring.
They'll be good through summer?
Spring, let's see, you can plant them now through April, probably up to summer maybe.
Right.
And then I'm always loving succulents, and the one that is so cool, it looks like waves, ocean waves. It's the calancho, I should say, and it really does remind you of a sea creature. So if you can picture Finding Nemo, one of those sea creatures, this is kind of a mint green, and then right on the edges, these waves is a bright pink. And so you can plant these. They're like little green paddles, and they look great almost year-round. So why not consider that?
What's that one?
It's called the calancho.
Okay.
Calancho, it's a great succulent.
Great.
So some fun things to try. I mean,
great, yeah.
I think that making a succulent bouquet is a great DIY project this weekend. Just getting a container and then filling it up with some silvers, some greens, some burgundies, and some yellows, and then you can't go wrong.
Well, you can go wrong, especially in the case of my daughter Willow, who wanted me to go get some flower pots and plant some, tulips and things like that, because she's drawing them now in school.
Oh.
So I went to the big box store and I bought some colorful pots and a bunch of great flowers, $170.
Really?
I think I because she kept picking them. It was so cute how she was doing that and really into the whole idea of doing a project with Dad. And then it ends up being like $170.
Well, but
but seriously, it looks fantastic.
And you look at the bond. What a great father-daughter outing, huh?
Until she starts pulling them out, making a soup out of them.
No,
soup.
Willow's going to always remember that Dad gardened with her. That's great.
All right, I guess I got to keep it up. Then.
You got to keep it up. In fact, we're going to be going to the garden show in San Francisco coming up in a few weeks, and one of the things that they're going to be featuring is a parent and child hands-on garden demonstration, if you will, because it's so great. It's so important to interact not only with nature but with those that you love. It just becomes a relaxing family project.
Yeah, they really do respond. My kids have all really loved doing that. So it's all kidding aside, it's a great activity.
All right. Well, so again, if you're thinking about what kind of plants to try, if these have kind of piqued your interest, do go to sunset.com/plant finder, and you can you can see all these pictures yourself, and you can also get the app so that you can take it out shopping with you as you're looking around for things to kind of spruce up your garden. Well, coming up next, we were talking about this about a week or so ago, Eric, things to make sure that your home is safe. And
right.
A lot of emails came in saying, could you talk about more of those things? Because it isn't just the dryer and the lint, but there's a lot of things around the home that can be dangerous.
Right, exactly.
So we're going to talk about some things to do to stay safe with your home. You're listening to Home Wizards. We like to help improve your home and improve your life. We're back in a moment on KFWB News Talk 980.
Round, round, round,